Hi everybody, it's me, Kelly, with Around Town. Today we're at Fort Worth Zoo, the oldest continuous zoo in Texas, which means it's been on the same land since 1909. So we're gonna go inside and have an adventure. Come on, let's go.
It's who we are, it's what we do. We're here and there just for you. All around town, come see what's happening around town.
All right, we've now entered the zoo. It was opened in 1909 with only a few animals. They had a lion, a few bear cubs, there was a coyote, a peacock, and an alligator. All those animals were here, but now they have over 7,000 animals here at the zoo. In 64 acres, it's incredible how much room they have, but they're still expanding and adding more space. So we're gonna go check out some of the animals. We're gonna see some of the zookeepers and talk to them about those animals. And if we're lucky, we might even get to feed some animals too. So come on, let's go. All right, our next visit is gonna be at the penguins. We're gonna be meeting up with Jean, one of the zookeepers here who's been working with the penguins. She's gonna show us the penguins and talk a little bit about our little friends here at the zoo. So come on, let's go. You know, only at the Fort Worth Zoo with the penguins do you see Arctic ducks. True fact, folks, there they are, Arctic ducks chilling out with penguins. All right, everybody, we're here in the penguin exhibit with Jean. Now, Jean's worked 6 years with these incredible penguins. So first of all, we're outside. Now, I thought penguins were used to the cold weather, but we're in Texas. It's a little bit warmer in Texas.
Well, actually, there's 17 species of penguins, and only 4 of them are known for being in cold weather. It's 13 penguins will live in environments a lot like this. These are African penguins. They live off the southern coast of Africa, so they actually do really well with the Texas temperatures around.
They're very intrigued by us here. It's incredible. They're like, wow, people.
So right here we have 11 right now. We actually have 10 off exhibit because we're hoping that they'll make us some baby penguins. And they do a lot better without public around. They kind of get less distracted inside. So normally we will have actually 23 penguins. We have 12 inside and miscounted.
They're pretty slow. Penguins are known for not being that fast. But inside the water, how fast can they swim?
They can get up to 22 miles per hour. Woo! Yeah.
Okay, everybody, this is a really important thing to remember. Do not follow what the penguins are doing. You want to remember to chew your food. Don't eat the fish whole. Chew your food. Chew and swallow, not just swallow. It's a magic act. Now you see the fish, and now you don't. All right, everybody, we're at the Hippo exhibit. This is awesome. I'm actually over here with Claire. Hi, Claire, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Okay, Claire, I love hippos. We've got hippos here at the exhibit.
That's right.
So now I hear there's 4 hippos in your exhibit at the Fort Worth Zoo. You know their names?
I do. We have 4 hippos. All of them are girls.
All girls.
All girls. No boys here.
Oh,
That's right.
well, it's okay. It's okay. They probably get along better that way, right? Probably. Okay, that's good.
Boys don't get along quite as well. But in here we have the hippo that is furthest forward is Jonesy.
Jonesy.
She is our largest and darkest color.
Now, Lord, how big?
She is 11 feet long. So she's pretty big.
That's a big hippo.
Behind Jonesy, we have her best friend Daisy.
That's why they're hanging out.
That's right. Daisy and Jonesy have been here at the zoo for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
They came when they were about 3 years old, and they're now 34.
So now, okay, so when they came here when they were 3 years old, how big were they then?
They were getting closer to full size. You know,
Okay.
They were not small at that point, but they definitely
They weren't this size yet. Okay, so there's 2, and so who are the other 2 that are
The
here?
other 2 are hanging out down under the waterfall. That's their favorite spot. The one closer to the glass is Bubbles.
Bubbles.
She's our smallest hippo.
Okay.
And then her best friend is Poppy. And Poppy and Bubbles just came when we opened this new exhibit. So they haven't been here quite as long as that.
Okay, here's a question that I've been wondering for a while. So hippos stay underneath the water for a long amount of time.
They do.
Now, how long can they stay underneath the water before they have to come up to get air?
Do you want to take a guess?
Okay, guessing. Okay, here we go. Jeopardy guessing here. Okay, what is 6 minutes?
Very, very close. It's about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I was
They can hold their
1 minute
breath.
off.
So close.
That's incredible. Okay, so that's a pretty long time to stay underneath the water.
It's a pretty long time. It's definitely longer than we can hold our breath.
Okay, so we saw them down below, but now it's feeding time. So we've come up top, and it looks as though they're enjoying their snack today.
Oh, they are always up.
Okay, so what are they eating right now?
Right now, they are getting some carrots, some oranges, and some kale.
That's a pretty good diet right there for 2:30 in the afternoon. Carrots and kale and oranges is not that bad.
Pretty good snack.
Now earlier you were saying something about them liking watermelon as well.
They do. Watermelon is actually their favorite treat.
So
But they don't get to have it every day.
it's like a dessert.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they're wanting some dessert, then they get some watermelon. Very cool. Okay, we were talking about the teeth down below, about the dental visits, but I'm noticing now with the mouths open, there's a lot more teeth.
Yes.
How many teeth do hippos have?
You see just the big 4 in the front, but they actually have some smaller molars in the back that help them chew up all of that food. And they have 28 teeth in their mouth.
That's a good size amount of teeth. Okay. Now wait, hold on a sec. I just noticed this. They're opening their mouths completely open, kind of like a garbage can, and we're just tossing the shots in like basketball. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Now you've seen it here firsthand. The feeding of the hippos, right there at the Fort Worth Zoo. Isn't that cool? All right. We're in the savannah, so of course when we're in the savannah, we've got to check out the rhinos. That's right. Now, Claire, we're here with the rhinos. Now, first of all, here at the Fort Worth Zoo, you have more than just one type of rhino, right?
We do. Now, this one that's behind us is a black rhino. They live in Africa, so of course here they would be near the hippos.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones we have are over by the elephants, and they are actually from Asia. They are called greater one-horned rhinos. So we have them from 2 different continents.
Oh, right now, okay, now you said horns. So look at this big guy behind us. He's got some pretty impressive horns. And when you think about rhinos, you think about rhinos having horns, right, kids? So now, do all rhinos have horns? And if so, are they all the same kind of shape?
All rhinos do have horns, but not all of them keep them quite as big and pointy as he does. Now, rhinos that are from Africa always have 2 horns, and they keep them pretty big and pointy like him. But the Asian rhinos that we have, like I said, they're called greater one-horned rhinos. Rhinos tend to like to be loners. They like to hang out, have their own space, and they only come together if they're breeding.
All right, and I hear here at the Fort Worth Zoo, the expansion is happening. There's going to be more room for the rhinos.
Right.
Huh?
There is more room for these rhinos already, and there's going to be more room for in the next couple of years.
That's great. All right, everybody, we're at one of the most favorite parts of the zoo for most people, the feeding of the giraffes. That's right. Who wants some lettuce? I think Tatu does. There you go. Let's see that tongue. Let's see that tongue. See how long that tongue was? Okay, is that usually how long a giraffe's tongue is?
Yes, giraffes' tongues can be up to 18 inches long.
Is that because of their neck? Do they keep their tongue inside their neck? Is that why it's so long?
I think it actually all fits in their mouth. But that long tongue, along with their long neck, helps them reach way up into the trees to get their food.
Now, okay, here's something very interesting I've been noticing. So when they're reaching down to eat the grass on the ground, they sprawl out their front legs. So now, is that a natural behavior? That's what they do.
Yes. It's because their legs are even longer than their neck. So if they stood up straight and bent down, they wouldn't actually be able to reach the ground. So they have to do a split anytime they want to eat grass or get a drink of water.
Very impressive. Now, what's the largest giraffe you have here, height-wise?
I think actually Tatu is our tallest one right now. She is about 15 or 16 feet tall.
Okay, so she could probably play for the Dallas Mavericks then.
I would think so.
Okay, all right. So if she wants a career in the NBA, she could go over there and play. All right. Is she good at slam dunking?
I'm not sure about her dribbling.
Her dribbling, yeah. As I say, she's got to sprawl out her legs. Might not be that easy. Now, how many giraffes do we have here in the Savannah exhibit?
We have 9 giraffes.
9 giraffes, and I noticed there's a little one out there, only 10 foot tall. That's a new baby.
The youngest one was born this spring.
And he's already 10 foot tall.
He's pretty big.
That's
yeah.
a
of course,
big
when
baby.
they're born, they're about 6 feet tall already. So they've been taller than me their entire lives.
It's okay. You're not a giraffe. You're fine. It's perfect. It's okay. This is great. So when you come to the zoo, you can come over here and do the feeding. You can get the lettuce here at the Savannah.
That's right.
And then
get
feed
the
them.
lettuce at the zoo, and then you just hold it over the fence just like
And
that.
as you see, she comes in and grabs a bite.
The giraffes
Look at that.
are always okay with a snack.
So this is a snack. It's not their meal time then.
That's
so
right.
they actually do have designated meal times throughout the day as well.
Actually, giraffes pretty much eat all the time.
Okay, so they're not on any diet. They're like, hey, food, I'm eating it.
Always lunchtime.
All right, you guys, check it out. Guess what? Lion King in the house. Okay, maybe not Lion King, but we are now at the lion exhibit. Good friend Crystal, she's going to tell us all about it. You've been here for 5 years, so she knows a wealth of information about all the animals here at the zoo. So, John Bellani, I'm going to call him Jim behind us, the big lion, he's napping. Do lions do that a lot? Do they lay down a lot?
16 to 20 hours a day. They spend most of their time resting.
16 to 20 hours a day. That's a long nap. But they're conserving their energy for the times they have to be up to run amok, or, I mean...
Lions aren't the most effective or efficient hunters. So most of what they go after, they actually don't catch. So they spend a lot of time resting so that whenever the ability arises for them to be able to go after something, then they are able to.
So now, he's by himself. Now, the female lions are around the corner. They usually stay apart from each other. I mean, there is the pride where you have the group together, correct?
Yes, and in a pride you do have a group together, but we also have 2 exhibits and 3 lions, so we're utilizing the space that we have. Females are always together, so you're going to have females together. But there are times in a male's life where he's been ousted out of the pride for various different reasons. So he's on his own, so it's perfectly natural for him to be on his own.
Lion King. See? Going back to Lion King right there, see, huh? Right here, Fort Worth Zoo, Lion King in the house. He was ousted by the pride. All right, the next stop, we're at the Mola exhibit. Now, we're actually inside the Crocodile Cafe, because inside Crocodile Cafe is the perfect viewing point to see both our saltwater croc, but also the gharial behind us as well. So now let's talk about the crocodile first. The crocodile on the other side of the cafe is Salty. Now how old is Salty and how big is Salty?
Salty's believed to be in about his mid-50s or so. And he is a rescue, so that's a guesstimation. And he is over 15 feet long.
That's a big crocodile. Okay, now that's a pretty big crocodile, so I would assume that his mouth is probably equally as big as the rest of his body. So how many teeth does he have inside that big chomper of his?
Over 60 teeth, up to about 64 or so.
Over 60 teeth. That's quite a few. I mean, that's a good mouthful right there. And now, looking at the exhibit, when I was looking at that earlier, there's really no entry point into it for feeding. So how do they feed him when it's mealtime for Salty?
Well, there's several different ways we feed him. We do have a window that's kind of hidden in the bushes,
Mm-hmm.
and we can actually stick food out, and he comes over and he gets it himself. Or what we typically do is he's trying to go inside.
Perfect. All right, we left Crystal over at the Crocodile Cafe. We are now in Mola, the Museum of Living Art. Now, we are actually inside the gigantic exhibit here. You can see that we have snakes, reptiles, amphibians. They're all inside of here. But the one cool thing about this exhibit is there's actually a discovery hub where you can see some of the animals up close. So we're going to head that way and go check out some of the animals they have there. Okay, we've reached the Discovery Hub here at Mola. I'm actually here with Taylor. Hello, Taylor. How are you? And like I was talking about before, inside the Discovery Hub, you can actually come up close and see some of the animals up close. Now, I was lucky enough, Taylor let me come behind the desk. Usually everybody's on the other side over here, but who is this little fellow we have right here? What kind of snake is he?
So this is our Brettles python, and these guys are found in Australia. So a lot of times we bring up snakes and other lizards, so for the kids to touch, so they can interact with the animal and see what they feel like.
So it definitely is a discovery where you can come in here and you see them inside the exhibit, but then you can actually see them up close and touch them and see what they feel like. And now he's a python, and he looks actually very smooth, but I realize that some snakes are a little bit rougher, probably because of the environment they live in or where they are located. Their scales or their bodies would probably be adapted for that environment, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So some scales, they'll be more keeled, so they're a little bit rougher. These guys have a pretty smooth scale.
And he's very active, too. He's like, all right, party, woo, everybody's checking me out today. This is great. So this is actually a part of Mola. So if you come in here and you're checking out the exhibit, you can actually come over here and see these up close.
Yeah, we're here from 10 to 2 every day, and we switch out the animals every hour.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for letting us come back here and meet the python and everybody else. Remember, if you do come here to the Fort Worth Zoo and you come into the Mola, make sure to come by the Discovery Hub to check out all the great things here, too. All right, we've come now to the Outdoor Learning Theater, and we're here with Kelly, the supervisor of the outreach program. Kelly, nice to meet you. The animals that come from the Fort Worth Zoo that come to the hospital, Kelly is actually in charge of the outreach program that brings them there to the hospital. So what she's going to do is you're going to show us some of the training that goes in to helping those animals out into coming out for the outreach program, correct?
That is right. So all of the animals that go off grounds or interact with the public here at the zoo are specially trained to do so. So wild animals wouldn't naturally feel comfortable riding in a car, walking into a hospital, and being in front of, 100 or 50 people they've never met before. So we take time to specially train these animals so that they are comfortable when we do put them in that situation.
It's perfect. Yeah. It's like, here's your crowd, perform.
Yes.
And it's better to acclimate them before they actually have to get into that environment. So
yes. Even people can get stage shy, so
exactly.
Animals are no exception. And so we train our animals using positive reinforcement here at the zoo, which means that when they do something we like, they get a treat. And sometimes it's food, but not always. Sometimes it's something like a scratch on the ear, or it could be their favorite toy, or even maybe like a cold bath, something that they really like.
Okay, that actually sounds perfect for me. Okay, can I become an animal here at the zoo? Because that sounds great. A little scratch on the ear, a nice cold bath. All right, hey.
Maria, one of our animal trainers here in the outreach department, is Pepper, and Pepper is pretty obviously...
I was going to say Pepper. I think Pepper's a skunk. A perfect naming.
Pepper right now is getting a treat for being out here on our stage today, and her favorite treats are going to be things like carrots, zucchini, grapes, and sometimes bugs, which kind of gross to us, but very tasty to us.
And is that pretty much what her diet would be? Would be the vegetables and then insects?
Well, in the wild, they would eat a lot of different things. They're omnivores, so that means they're not picky. They'll eat fruits, vegetables, bugs.
Food.
Yes. And then here at the zoo, they can get the 5-star meals. So always the freshest things, the best carrots and sweet potatoes and all that stuff. And then, yes, lots of tasty bugs.
It's always great to be the star celebrity here at the Fort Worth Zoo.
So Maria's showing off a little bit of her training. So not only is getting them comfortable to be in front of people part of their training, but then we can teach them what we call behaviors. So you never hear us talking about these things like they're tricks. You wouldn't see a bird riding a bicycle at the zoo because they wouldn't do that in the wild. Instead, we train them to do behaviors that they would do in the wild so we can show off their natural skills.
Exactly. And I hear the clicker, too. I hear the clicker at Maria's, and so that's also helping as well.
Yes. So the clicker is basically like a way of telling Pepper what she did was good. Ideally, when you're rewarding an animal, you want to give them their reward or treat the second they do the thing that you like. But how often are reflexes that quick?
Very true, very true.
This is Zuri. He is our African gray parrot, and you can probably guess pretty quickly why he's called an African gray parrot.
Now, how old is he?
He is unsure. We're unsure of how old he is because he came to the zoo as an adult, and once they are full grown, it's kind of hard to tell. So he has a little interesting story. He is a rescue bird.
Mhm.
And so because we don't know his full life history, we can only guess at how old he is. And so we believe he is, maybe in his teens or 20s, but parrots can live very long lives. They can live over 30 years, some species. Some species can live over 80 years.
That's an old bird. Just saying. So now he could be in his 80s then because of the gray hair. I mean, I'm just saying the gray feathers are kind of leading to the older age. But
they have that very distinguished look.
and I can see he's eating sunflower seeds. Is that part of his diet, or is that just a treat that he loves? His sunflower seeds, like a professional baseball player.
Like a baseball player, that is a treat for him. His normal diet is going to be parrot food and fresh fruits and vegetables. And as a special treat for coming out on our stage, or for going to a school or somewhere like Cook's, we give him sunflower seeds. And that's just so it's a little extra fun.
Nice. All right. An extra treat for your extra performing. Now, you were talking earlier about vocalization.
Yes.
As a parrot, most people probably realize that parrots like to talk. Especially if you're around parrots long enough, you'll carry on a full conversation with them.
We don't really say that he can talk because they're mimics or copycats. The way they bond with the birds in their flock is they copy each other. That way they know we sound the same, we're a flock. And if another parrot comes along that's not making the same sounds,
You're not part of the group.
not part of the group.
Very cool.
But because parrots sometimes live around people, they'll start to mimic us. So Zuri has adopted us into his flock, and so he'll copy some of the sounds that we make sometimes. So if we want to show off some of those.
I would love to see some.
All right, Zuri, you step up. Very good. All right, thank you very much. So let's start off with something easy, like Zuri. Can you say your name? Zuri Bird. There you go.
Zuri Bird. All right, very good.
Last name, very polite. Now, here's a straight copy. Like, can you say, hi, Zuri? Hi, Zuri. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good. That's good. I was going to say, you're doing good. You're doing good. Batting 1,000.
Zuri, when we go to Cook's, do we have fun? Woo!
You heard it here, folks, right there from Zuri. Loves coming to Cook's.
Likes visiting everybody. And then another thing that we have a good time doing is playing music. Because, Zuri, do you like to dance?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The head bob, always a good move.
He is quite the skilled dancer. He's a party animal.
He is a party animal?
Yeah. Speaking of parties, any kind of special occasion, Zuri would make a great guest, especially a birthday, because he could give you a very special message. Happy birthday.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. It was so much fun seeing the animals and seeing how you train with them. And we'll see you at Cook's next time you come on out. Yeah. Thanks again so much.
Thank you.
We're heading off to another exhibit to see some more animals. I don't know what's out there, but we're going to go find out right now.
All right.
All right, everybody, we're going to end our tour here today at the World of Primates. And remember, like I told you before, the zoo's open year-round, so you can come out during the spring, summer, fall, or winter months and see the animals. Because if you haven't been to the Fort Worth Zoo recently, you haven't been here at all. I'll see you next time around town.